The four surviving members of the Nostromo's crew reassembled in the mess. It was no longer cramped, confining. It had acquired a spaciousness the four loathed and held memories they struggled to put aside. This is how the novelization of Alien, written by Alan Dean Foster, described the four reeling after the death of their captain, Dallas. Out of the four, Ripley, Ash, Parker, and Lambert, one stood out from the others. Little doubt that was Ash. With his back turned to the room, he looked unmoved, unemotional, yet very patient. What could be going through Ash's mind? His central processing unit. Ash's plan to protect the alien had been going smoothly, with little complications. Whenever there was something unexpected that may threaten the company's plan, Ash was there to correct. He played Dallas, appearing to be loyal, but in reality coerced his captain to making the necessary decisions to ensure Special Order 937 was successful. After disposing of Dallas and his first officer, Kane, Ash didn't think so far ahead to better deal with the troublesome and inquisitive Ripley. After Dallas had fallen to the xenomorph deep in the air ducts, Ash had hoped the three others would be too emotionally broken to pose a threat. Though Parker was defiant and overly heroic, he was delusional, not clearly understanding the strength, resilience, and tenacity of the alien. Lambert, she was hysterical. She was no more a threat to the alien than a mosquito in front of an elephant. It wouldn't surprise Ash if she would end up dying from fright. But Ripley, she was calm and calculating. She sat in her chair, assuming authority. She wasn't looking for escape, but a way to kill the alien, to kill the company's plan. Ash and Ripley had bumped heads before, several times since they woke from hypersleep. Ash wouldn't forget how Ripley suggested to run after Dallas, Kane, and Lambert when the three were on their way to the derelict ship, after Mother translated the alien beacon as a warning. How dare she interfere? Ripley leveraged procedure, policy, and protocol in trying to quarantine Kane, dooming him to death. Ash had to step in, literally one button away, and let the alien life form onto the Nostromo. Ash used his captain's orders to justify his act of humanity. His act of the moment would do. He would have to worry about Ripley's suspicions later. Maybe in hindsight, Ash should have predicted Ripley's initiative. She couldn't resist reminding him of the chain of command. Ash lost his cool. He had lost his cool once before, much earlier, when Parker rebuked the crew's obligation to investigate the alien distress signal. It seemed when anyone dared impede the company's plan, Ash's cold, robotic personality would get very skittish. Then there was Ripley's suggestion to discard the dead facehugger. Her irrational anti-science beliefs were dismissed quickly by Dallas. Ash likely thought that would discredit her, making her less of a problem as long as Dallas was alive, however. This takes us back to the scene in the mess, a quiet scene, yet makes a couple very telling hints. With a set design that accentuated close quarters and claustrophobia, you would expect a feeling that the walls were closing in on the four, as the alien could be anywhere, lurking around the corner. But the film does the exact opposite with the space it was given. There is no comfort in sharing misery with others, no safety in numbers. Even together, each survivor was alone and vulnerable. This is what the director, Ridley Scott, had intended, and it was written in the novelization. You see it literally when Ripley debates Parker. Though I didn't understand when I watched it the first time in the cinema, I recognized Parker's off-mic voice and blurred figure in the background. In many circles, this is considered technically amateur, but it emphasized the distance between each of the crew. It is also foreshadowing the isolation Ripley will experience. With Ripley in command, she reaches out to the science division for answers, but Ash offers no help. With Mother, they're still collating. The film abbreviates the conversation between him and Ripley. Ripley makes a snarky comment, telling Ash to continue doing nothing, and she has access to Mother now. However, the novelization revealed Ash made an analogy that the alien was a predator and the crew was in the darkness of ignorance. Ripley tells Ash to go back and work with Mother. This is a subtle clue, the relationship or bond with the Mother computer. I'm going to ignore a scene in the book that follows immediately after, but omitted in the film, that would have explained Ripley's nosebleed. That's for another video. Both the novelization and film point in the same direction, taking Ripley to the Mother chamber. Ripley wanted answers. Why Ash hasn't been very helpful. This is where she gets her answer, the dreaded Order 937. Ash snuck inside, giving a Cheshire grin, offering a cold, analytical explanation, but Ripley would have nothing to do with it. She slams Ash against a wall of blinking lights. This is where I think his programming snapped. You can see it on the expression on his face. Ash also gets to see how Ripley is broken too. Perhaps believes she is a danger to herself and his precious alien organism. Ripley looks to put distance between her and Ash, but the doors lock her out from leaving. It comes full circle. Earlier, Ripley shut the door on Dallas when she wanted to talk about Ash. Now, Ash shut the door on Ripley, trying to escape him. Ripley and Ash stand eye to eye, both bleeding, both broken. Ash shows no emotion. His humanity clicked off, and he makes his move, ripping hair out of Ripley's head. Ripley hastens along the floor like a lab rat, but Ash catches up and shows superhuman strength. He attempts to choke the life from her before Parker and Lambert rush to save Ripley, and Parker knocks the science officer's head right off. And then there were three. Before we discuss the final clue, like, share, or subscribe if you enjoy this content and want to see more like this one. One of my long-held nitpicks is how Ash helped himself inside the Mother chamber, surprising Ripley. Setting stealth aside, the clues of his access to the chamber were there. Mother is a great accomplishment of artificial intelligence. It absorbs information real time, every sight, sound, and computer sensor. But if a member of the crew wanted to communicate with Mother, he or she could only do that from one interface, the Mother chamber. Just as Dallas had to pay a visit to the Cathedral of Blinking Lights and computerized intelligence to see things for his eyes only. In the mess hall, Ash answered he and Mother had found no solution to counter the alien. He could have only worked with Mother inside the chamber. The novelization had Ripley tell Ash to go back and ask different questions to Mother to get better answers, and that can only come from the keyboard console in front of it. Let me know your thoughts. What did you think of the story at this point in the film? When did you start having suspicions of Ash? I know there are many other channels that discuss alien films. If you made it this far, I thank you. This is Mr. G of Synergy saying, remember your virtual assistant is always listening and knows all your secrets. Check out other videos on my channel. Thanks for watching.